Okay, just a little video here from trying to remove the master cylinder. It has taken a bit longer than expected, but that's all down to aging. I've removed the battery and the battery casing. Took out the brackets for all the electric parts here. I think it's the fuse boxes or something like that, or some kind of master electrics, but never mind. So to get to the master cylinder from the outside, we need to remove the ABS block here, and actually this is an 03 model, and I think that work hasn't been done on this system at all, so they were quite hard to get out. Actually, this one had to come out with a plier, which is not optimal at all, but that's how it goes when things age. So then it's actually just to remove the block, lift it up, and tomorrow I can get to the master cylinder. So that's the agenda for tomorrow. I just want to share this video because I had some difficulties getting these loose. They were very grown into. Perhaps it has something to do with the block being aluminum and these being some kind of other alloy, and that kind of makes it a problem over time. But I'm still following the SAAB this. I have it on my laptop, and everything else is going according to plan.
The next day.
Okay, looking at the old master cylinder here, there's actually not much to see. It wiggles a little bit in this joint, but so does the new Brembo one. It actually wasn't very difficult to get out, but what I'm gonna do, it's kind of hard to show it with only one hand, but I got a new hose for the new master cylinder and some clamps, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stick the hose on, and then I'm gonna prime with the .4 fluid and prime the master cylinder before I put it back in, just to make sure there's as little air as possible in the system, because it's quite hard to bleed. When you're bleeding the system, you actually only have the nipple down here. I don't know if you can see it, but it's kind of hard to get to with the camera, but just before the slave cylinder, there's the bleed nipple. There it is, and that's just below there is the concentric slave cylinder, and the bleed nipple there is the only way to bleed the master cylinder, and also through the reservoir here. So new master cylinder back in, put on the pipe here as fast as possible. You can see when I pulled it out, I tilted it a little bit upwards so that it still contains as much fluid as possible. And you also want to make sure that hydraulic fluid doesn't go and hit too many other rubber components, because you can't be sure which rubber components here is actually gonna be disintegrated a little bit by the hydraulics fluid. It's a quite aggressive fluid. So you prime the master cylinder, put it back in, put this pipe in as quick as possible, and put in the little clamp, or what it is. It's just a small, just to to hold it in place, and then you're actually good to go. So the pipe or the hose we put that is the filler hose from the reservoir is gonna be put on as quickly as possible, primed again, put on here and clamped onto here. So that's the mission. I'm just gonna cut you off till some of the work is done, because I can't quite do it with only one hand available.
1 hour later.
So master cylinder is mounted. My priming stunt didn't work actually. Even though I plugged in the yellow plug after filling it up, it just pissed out everywhere. But I left the plug in, mounted the hose with the new clamps. This aftermarket hose, this is a Brembo master cylinder. That hose is a bit shorter than the original hose, so it's gonna be exciting to see if it will fit with the ABS block back in. Just an important note: when you have mounted the master cylinder, now is the time where you want to put in that pipe, which is the pipe to the slave cylinder. What you want to do now is fill up the reservoir so it actually drains down through the empty hose, and it should actually piss out when I remove the yellow plug. The note here is, when you have mounted the master cylinder and you're ready to do this, go back into the cabin, make sure that the arm is pulled, the arm on the master cylinder is pulled all the way back, otherwise you have an air pocket and you don't want that. So when you have mounted it and you're ready to fill up the reservoir, hose is mounted, pipe is ready to come on, back into the cabin before, make sure the lever is pulled back to the clutch pedal so you can fill the cylinder with the oil, and make sure that as little air as possible is in the cylinder.
2 hours later.
Okay, everything is put back together. I've bleeded the system after mounting the ABS block back on. Reservoir is full. Bleeded from the nipple down there. Started it. It feels okay. The clutch pedal is definitely softer. Now I'm just warming it up, and then I'm gonna go for a test drive. But basically, job done. It's you can see it's all done in the driveway, and you should estimate 2.5-3 hours when doing it in a driveway. Also, it's 5 degrees Celsius outside. It's a bit cold, so you need to go get a hot cup of coffee. But that's basically it. Thanks.